As a Vietnamese American, visiting Vietnam for the first time felt surreal. Growing up speaking the language, eating the food, and listening to my family's stories, I finally got to experience it all for myself. From the beaches of Da Nang and getting my tattoo souvenir, to having custom clothes tailored in Hoi An, exploring the history of Hue, cruising through Ninh Binh, having coffee on Train Street in Hanoi while the train passed just inches away, and waking up to the mountains of Sapa. Every moment felt personal in a different way. In between the incredible food, beautiful hotels, different ways to travel, and reconnecting with my roots, this trip became way more than just a vacation. This is my first time experiencing Vietnam, and it's through the eyes of a Viet Kieu. So my first night I spent in Vietnam was in Da Nang. Flew straight into Da Nang from Phoenix and went to watch the Dragon Show on Sunday night. It's on every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. Afterwards, just went to check out the local night market right across the street and just had a low-key evening before my next morning where I was going to have my first Vietnamese breakfast.
So this morning, my first breakfast in Vietnam, we had bò air, which is translated to dodging beef. It's steak served on a sizzling platter. And as it's, there's the oil splatters and everything, you got to dodge it. That's why they call it dodging beef in Vietnamese. They serve it with the baguette. So basically, you break it open, piece, and then just open up a little hole, put a little bit of pate, some eggs, some steak, sauce, right. The bread is super fresh. It's crusty on the outside, nice and soft and chewy on the inside. The beef is cooked perfectly. The pate, I never had like sauteed pate like this. It's something else, just freaking good. And it's homemade. It's not like from a can there. With the eggs, top. Come on, man. Topped off with a iced coffee and lemonade. It's like a breakfast of champions.
After that amazing breakfast, I was still kind of hungry, so I went to go get a northern style bowl of pho. And as you can see here, the northern style pho has a clear broth, and you won't find any hoisin sauce or sriracha on the side, just pickled garlic, but still an amazing bowl of pho. After breakfast, I went to Ba Na Hills. Went there super early in the morning. I arrived there around 7:15, 7:30, even though they don't officially open till 8 a.m. Cable cars were still running though, so I was able to walk through and get a cable car without much lines in front of me. And the plan today was to get out and check out the Golden Bridge. And as soon as I'm done with the Golden Bridge, take the other cable car straight up to the mountain and to the top of the mountain and enjoy all the views without the crowds, and then work my way down later on, enjoy a cup of coffee, have some lunch at the buffet, and before heading down the mountain. Starting my day at the top of Ba Na Hills around 8 a.m. made all the difference. I was able to begin heading down before the tour buses arrived around 10 a.m., which is when the crowds really started to fill the park. Because of that timing, I got to enjoy the entire descent in a much more relaxed, crowd-free atmosphere. I was able to take photos and videos without anyone in the way, which made the experience even better. On the way down, I rode the Alpine coaster, which was a fun highlight of the morning. I eventually stopped for lunch at the buffet before continuing my way down the mountain and wrapping up the visit. After lunch, I started heading down the mountain. It was about a 35-40 minute cable car ride back down to the parking lot, in which I took a cab to Sunja Peninsula, where I went to check out the Lady Buddha statue as well as all of the other monuments and everything that they have built on the Sunja Peninsula right along the beach. After spending time at the Sunja Peninsula, I decided to go to the beach club down at Da Nang Beach to just relax, enjoy the sunset in the beach, and wind down before getting ready for dinner at a Michelin-starred seafood restaurant. For dinner, I got to Mok Wang, and it's a Michelin-starred seafood restaurant, and it's 6 floors, plenty of tables, and the wait can get quite long if you get here during prime hours, but they do have plenty of massage places nearby if you want to wait at a massage place nearby while you're waiting for your table. After picking your seafood, they'll weigh it and any of the seafood that you choose, and you ask them whichever way to cook it for you, and they'll cook it for you fresh and bring it to your table. After getting to your table, they'll cut it up for you and have everything serving ready so that you don't have to get your hands dirty at all while you eat. This was easily one of my favorite meals in Vietnam, and it was such an incredible feast because all the seafood was so fresh and sweet. Instead of taking the usual 2-hour cab ride from Da Nang to Hue, I decided to book a tour for the journey instead. They picked me up early in the morning and turned the transfer into a full day of sightseeing, with stops at incredible places like the Emperor's Tomb and the Imperial City. By the end of the day, they dropped me off at my hotel right around 5 p.m. Perfect time for check-in and a chance to relax after a whole day of exploring Hue. Along the way, visiting places like the Imperial City and the Emperor's Tomb honestly gave me goosebumps. Seeing these historic sites and experiencing the culture firsthand made me feel deeply connected to where I come from. It's hard to put into words, but the whole experience really touched me in a way I can't really fully explain.
So I'm in Hue still, and I'm at a little restaurant, and I wanted to try one of the Hue specialties, which is creme caramel, Vietnamese creme caramel, topped with coffee. And they pour coffee right over it. So this is a fusion between Vietnamese and the French creme caramel. French creme caramel is cream based. They use cream to make the creme caramel, which is very similar to flan, but it's a lot more softer and smoother. The Vietnamese version, instead of having it being cream based, it is actually based on condensed milk, so it's sweeter, and it's still very sweet, and it's going to be very soft. And also got it a side with lemonade on the side. So giving this a try, see how it goes. I'm looking forward to this all week. That's just stupid. It's so good. Stupid. The flan is like silky smooth. You do taste the sweetness from the condensed milk, but it's toned down with the coffee that was poured on top. Coffee blends so well with sweet. It's just such a perfect balance, and then the ice on top, and just nice refreshing dessert to have on a really hot day when you just let it fly like crazy. So, looking forward to finishing the rest of this and seeing what the rest of the Vietnam has to offer.
The next morning, after breakfast at the hotel, I caught a flight from Hue to Hanoi before taking a bus to Ninh Binh, where I spent the next couple of nights. Ninh Binh was absolutely breathtaking. It felt like Ha Long Bay on land, with stunning limestone cliffs rising above the rice fields. One of the highlights was biking through the countryside, surrounded by endless green fields and peaceful scenery, as well as being able to bike up to some ancient temples. It was such a calm and serene experience. I also took a Trang Am boat ride, drifting through rivers, caves, and towering limestone formations that almost didn't feel real. Afterward, I explored the nearby ancient capital and historic temples, which added even more depth to the experience. Altogether, Ninh Binh was one of the most beautiful and memorable parts of the trip. That evening, instead of spending another night in Ninh Binh, I decided to take an overnight limousine bus to Sapa. The bus left around 10 p.m. and arrived at my hotel at 6 a.m., and it was very comfortable and extremely pleasant ride. 7 a.m. I had a Baka market tour. Honestly, that part of the trip wasn't my favorite, so I don't have much to say about it. By the end of the day though, I finally had a chance to recharge at the incredible pool at Hotel de la Coupe. The atmosphere there was absolutely stunning. Elegant, peaceful, and incredibly relaxing after so much traveling. Later that evening, I explored some of the cultural events happening around the city before heading back to rest. The next morning, I booked VIP tickets through the hotel concierge to visit Fancy Pan. As I made my way up the mountain, the weather turned extremely foggy. I spent a couple hours at a nearby coffee shop, reading a book and hoping the clouds would clear up so I could take in the views. Unfortunately, the fog never lifted, and eventually I made my way back down the mountain. Even without the perfect weather, there was still something calm and memorable about the experience. After a long and foggy morning at Fancy Pan, I finally made my way back down the mountain and checked into the Hotel Fancy in Sapa. The place was absolutely breathtaking. Honestly, pictures and words don't even do it justice. From the moment I arrived, everything about it felt peaceful, elegant, and relaxing. I ended up spending nearly a full 24 hours there, and somehow the time just disappeared. Most of the time was spent simply sitting back, taking in the incredible mountain views and the endless rice paddy terraces stretching across the hillsides below. Watching the layers of green terraces fade into the mist felt almost unreal, and no matter how long I sat there, I never got tired of the view. Every meal I had was amazing. The room was beautiful and comfortable, and the hotel staff made the entire experience even better with how welcoming and attentive they were. After so much traveling and constantly being on the move, Sapa became the place where I could finally slow down, recharge, and find a real sense of peace and rest.
Giving a tour of the room. Here's the sink. That's the front door. Use the restroom with the toilet. Nice bed. Have some lunch set up. This right here is wow. Beautiful view.
The next morning, after waking up and enjoying a cup of coffee while taking in the breathtaking views of the mountains and rice terraces, I got ready for the next part of the journey, a 7-hour train ride from Sapa back to Hanoi. After the peace and quiet of Sapa, it felt bittersweet leaving such a beautiful and relaxing place behind, but I was excited for the next chapter of the trip.
Here's the train. Private suite with a queen size bed. Here's my window. You get some snacks. Don't share it with anyone else. And at the end of the hallway down there is the restroom, and then other cabins out here on this train car. But ready to depart. And here's where the four buck looks like. And look. And up here is a sink. There's a bathroom here. And there's the other train car. And there's another bathroom at the end of the hallway.
Train ride ended up being a blessing, and I'm really glad I booked it. After moving around so much throughout the trip, it gave me a chance to finally slow down, sit back, and completely decompress. Watching the Vietnamese countryside roll by outside the window, the small towns, green fields, and quiet scenery felt incredibly peaceful and calm. It gave me time to recharge my batteries and mentally reset before heading back into the city. One of the coolest moments during the ride was passing through Hanoi's famous train street from inside the train itself. Seeing the narrow alleyways, homes, and cafes from the train side was such a unique experience and honestly pretty exciting after hearing so much about it beforehand. When I finally arrived back in Hanoi, the first thing I did was grab a comforting bowl of bún chả Hanoi, one of the city's signature dishes. After a long day of travel, it was exactly what I needed, and it tasted absolutely incredible. After my bowl of bún chả Hanoi, I was still a little hungry, so I decided to keep exploring Hanoi's food scene and went to try some bánh cuốn at Bánh Cuốn Bà Xuân. It was another amazing local meal, light, flavorful, and the perfect follow-up after the heavier bún chả. The food there was really stood out, and it was a really great way to experience yet another side of Hanoi street food culture. The next morning, before heading out to visit a museum in Hanoi and continue exploring the city, I stopped by Cafe Zhang for their famous egg coffee. It was rich, sweet, and incredibly unique, exactly the kind of iconic Hanoi experience I'd been looking forward to. Sitting there with a cup of egg coffee felt like the perfect calm start to the day before diving into more sightseeing around the city. Sightseeing at the Temple of Literature and the Hoa Lo Prison Museum, often referred to as the Hanoi Hilton, was a real change of pace for the trip. The Temple of Literature was beautiful and elegant, with peaceful courtyards and historic architecture that reflected Vietnam's deep academic traditions. Walking through it gave me a sense of how Vietnamese scholars and noble families once sent their children there to study and pursue knowledge. In contrast, the Hoa Lo Prison Museum was a much more somber experience. It offered a stark look into a difficult part of history and gave me a different perspective on the war. It was heavy at times, but also an important and eye-opening part of understanding the country more deeply. After the museum experiences, and since it was my final night in Hanoi, I wanted to end the trip on a strong note with a full food crawl throughout the city. I started with another bowl of bún chả Hanoi at a well-known spot tucked away in a narrow back alley, the kind of hidden place you'd probably walk right past if you didn't know it was there. It was just as flavorful and comforting as the first time. From there, I went to Banh Mi 25 for one of the city's most famous banh mi's, which lived up to the hype completely. I also made a stop for coffee right on Train Street, sitting just close enough to feel the energy of the passing trains while enjoying the atmosphere around it. To finish off the night, I had a creme caramel for dessert, the perfect sweet ending to a long and unforgettable final evening in Hanoi. After Hanoi, I flew back down to Da Nang and made my way over to Hoi An. As soon as I arrived, I went straight to a tailor to get measured for custom clothing, including a suit and a couple of jackets. While I was waiting for my first fitting, I spent the evening exploring the Lantern Festival. The whole town lit up with glowing lanterns floating along the river, and it felt almost surreal walking through it at night. The next morning, I went on a coconut basket boat tour, which was fun, energetic, and a totally different side of Hoi An. After that, I returned for my first fitting at BB Tailor's shop. They were excellent. They took all my measurements carefully and really paid attention to detail in building the custom pieces I requested. I ordered 2 custom jackets and a suit, and everything came out amazing. To wrap up the final days of my trip, I went back to Da Nang to get a tattoo done so I could finish it before heading home. It felt like a meaningful way to mark the end of the journey and take a piece of the experience back with me. Here's a look at the final tattoo, as well as the suit and 2 jackets I had made. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was my first attempt at a vlog, and it's my souvenir from an incredible trip to Vietnam. Thank you for watching.